A very good morning to all my students, and I am just sending you the lots of blessings so that you can prepare your syllabus, your topics with full of your input. So previously we were actually discussing the topic that is your financial statement of the company, and you know that financial statement are the statement which is actually very much useful, and also it is prepared with a proper way so that it can be useful for all the users. So what actually comes in the financial statement, you should know that. So we previously have done the balance sheet, the profit and loss of the company, the notes to account, which is actually you can say the working note, which is attached with the balance sheet as well as with the P&L of the company, and also the cash flow statement. These are actually all come in the financial statement of a company, because these are the statement which is actually the base. It is, you can say, it is a logical base on which different kinds of the plans are prepared for the future, or you can, with the help of these financial statement, you can come up with the decision, some decision. You can see your past experiences. From your past experiences, what you want to change and what you have done, what you have achieved, what you want to be changed, and if you want to excel. So many decisions are based on these financial decisions, and these are the decisions, these are the statement actually which are uses by so many you can say kind of agencies or persons or the management. So there are so many users of accounting data, or you can say the statement. So it should be, that's why it should be all your financial data, or you can all your financial information and the statements should be prepared with the proper principle, conventions and concepts. That's why it is prepared by all those things. So already we have discussed about the balance sheet of the company. Here we are come up with the profit and loss of the company. So this is actually a specimen of the statement of the profit and loss of the company. This is also in a proper way. You should actually analyze all this and learn all this according to the heads. These all are the heads. You can't change it. You are to be take it as it is there in the form. So with the help of this, I just want to explain one by one in front of you. This is the financial statement. The part of this financial statement, this is the statement of the P&L, which is also called the income statement of the company. See here, there are basically how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The P&L is actually divided into the 7 parts. First two part is related with the revenue, and it means it is actually the credit side of P&L. And because the company's balance sheet, company's P&L is actually also followed as in a vertical way, that's why the credit side of your P&L simply you are now using it, but it is the new pattern or the company's pattern. According to this pattern, the credit side of the income side is will come first on the P&L account. That's why here revenue from operation, the first part of your statement of P&L will be the revenue from operations. Then we will come up with the other incomes. So revenue from operation, it means that it is the main course of your business, and the revenue which is other than, and the income or revenue which is other than your business you are taking it here in a second. After that, third one is the total revenue, means you are going to be plus this, and it will be going to be when plus, or it will be counter. Also it comes, then the third part is come as the fourth part, that is comes as an expenses. It is, you can say, it is a debit side. All expenses and losses come to the debit side, so that's why in the vertical P&L, you will take all the debit side items will come after this. All the expenses related to your business. So here, in the first, that is the cost of the material consumed, you will take it first. After that, the purchases of stock in trade. Then the change in the inventories of finished goods, work in progress, and rate will come. After that, you will take the employees benefit expenses. Employee benefit expenses is related with the employees. All those, you can say, all those things which come as a compensation towards the employee will come here, just like the wages, salary, leave encashment, everything will become here. After the employees benefit expenses, you will take the finance cost. So finance cost means it is a cost which is related for raising the loan, or you can say arrangement of the debt and equity. So that's why it is you will take it as finance cost. Next is the depreciation and amortization expenses. This is actually the written down value you are noting down for the tangible and intangible assets. Whatever will be the amount you will take it here. After doing that, the next will be the other expenses. So other expenses mean those expenses which is actually not coming in this list will ultimately come to the other expenses. So this is all the total of the expenses related to, you will take it total here, and means how much will be the total is going to be deducted from your revenue. So here you will take the total expenses, and after that the total expenses will be going to be minus, that is the third. You will take this one. You are going to deduct this total from your revenue, total revenue. So how much will be left will be that is the profit less tax. How much will be the profit? It will be the gross profit. How much will be the profit will going to be less from the tax will be deducted from that. And when you are going to less the tax, after deducting the tax you will have the profit and loss for the period. So this is the way you will make the company's P&L account. But before that, also you are to be examine all the columns. First column will be the particulars. Second will be the notes to note number. Means if you have a need to explain the working note, if you are to have the need to be explained more, you are to make a working note in the footnote, and that is called the notes to account. And you are going to numbering all the notes. And if there is a note, you are making the numbers, that number will be coming on in this column. Just for the assistants, just to know about how this amount comes. Because if there is an extraordinary, more information is there, you are to be just gather all and you do the working note, and what you arrive with that amount will actually go here. Now there is a two column of the amount. You are to also examine this. This column is actually for the current year amount, which is of your P&L, and this is related to the previous year. So in the company balance sheet there are the two columns. Always this column is related with the current year amounts or items, and this column is related with the previous year amount and item. It is very easy to see that, or it is actually become the base for the comparison, and further you will see that we will do the different tools related to the accounting, like common size statement and comparative statement. So just to arrive at whether we are moving, whether we have some profitability in our project or not, you can do it with comparing these two. That's why this column is related to the current, and also the previous column is also attached with the different amount related to the previous year, so that it will be easy for you to see that each and every column, each and every heads are giving their previous information along with the current information. So this is all the way you can do your statement of the P&L. So one by one we will discuss all these things. So you can see the format. Now first is your revenue from operation. What is the meaning of revenue from operation? Revenue from operation means the revenue earned by the company from its operating activities. That is the activity carried on by the company to earn the profit. Commonly it is the net sale, that is the sales minus sales return, for the manufacturing company or trading company, fee earned by the service company, and interest or dividend earned by the financial company. It will go to the your revenue from operation. Now come to the other income. Now other income means the company beside earning revenue from operation may earn income from the sources that is the source that are not its business activities. These incomes are shown in the other income in the statement of the P&L account. So thus other income means income earned by the company from the non-operating activity. There are some examples also. So these are the gain on sale of the fixed asset, excess provision written off, bad debts recovered, that is interest on fixed asset, deposit with the banks, and non-financial company, dividend earned by the non-finance company. So these are all are the example of your other income. Now moving to the expenses side, we have basically 6 kind of the expenses. So first is the cost of material consumed. In the expenses part, the first one is that is the cost of material consumed. Sometimes directly it is given to you, sometimes some clues are given to you. You are to just calculate the cost of your material consumed. Then how you will calculate it? The cost of material consumed is the first entry or a line in the line item in the expenses part. The term the cost of material consumed means the cost of raw material and other material consumed in manufacturing the goods. So we can say it is the opening inventory of the material plus purchases of material minus the closing inventory of material. We have here the formula of cost of material that you are to be, if you want to calculate the cost of material, you have to take the opening inventories plus purchases of material minus closing inventory. So just to find out the cost of material consumed. These material can be the finished good, it can be the stock in trade and what. Now next, that is the purchases of stock in trade. After cost of material consumed, you will have the purchases of stock in trade. So what do you mean by the stock in trade? It means that purchases for reselling. If the company carries out further processing of the goods purchased, they do not remain stock in trade, but it becomes the part of the cost of material consumed. For example, if the company purchases a paper for resale, it will be the purchases for stock in trade. But if the paper is purchased for manufacturing the copy, it will be shown to the cost of material consumed. So there is a difference that if you are purchasing something for the reselling, that will be the purchase of stock in trade. But if you are purchasing as a raw material, then you are going to transform it. It will be the cost of material. It will go to the cost of material consumed. Now come to the next, that is the change in inventories. Inventory can be the finished goods, inventory can be the work in progress, and also inventory can be the stock in trade. So how you will take the changes? That it means the difference between the opening and the closing inventories of the stock in trade, work in progress, and you can say the opening inventories. So here it means the difference between the opening inventory and the closing stock inventory may be positive and also be the negative. So you can say that how you will find out the change in inventory. By it means that you are going to be opening minus closing. If you will do the opening minus closing, by doing this either you have the negative balance or you have the positive balance. If you have a negative balance, you have to put that amount into the brackets just to show what both the things are in the bracket. It means that it is of a negative amount. Now come to the next, that is the employees benefit expenses. That is employees benefit expenses. So employees benefit expenses mean the payment made to or for the benefit of employees. For example, the wages, salaries, bonus, leave encashment, staff welfare expenses. it all come to the your employees benefit expenses, and employees benefit expenses either of the direct expenses or of the indirect expenses. So direct expenses, which is directly related with the factory work and where the things are transforming, that will be your direct expenses. And indirect expenses, which is not related with the transformation of the goods, it is related to the office and administrative. These are the indirect expenses. So this is the way you will take it. Now come to the finance cost. The next expense is the finance cost. So what is the meaning of finance cost? It is a cost incurred by the company on the borrowing, that is a loan taken by it, or therefore it includes the interest paid on borrowing such as the term loan, bank overdraft and the cash credit from bank and from the other, such as the public deposit, debentures and bonds. These all are the your finance cost. It means when you are going to arrange your funds, and for that you are paying something, that is your finance cost. So it also includes the expenses incurred for borrowing, such as a loan processing fee, discount on issue of debenture and premium payable on redemption of debenture. These are expenses as incurred by the company for borrowing. However, the bank charges are not shown in the finance cost but are shown in the other expenses. Always remember, the bank charges will not come to the finance cost but it will go to the other expenses. And next is the depreciation and amortization. The next column comes to the depreciation and amortization. So depreciation, you did it in your +1, that the written down value of any asset. That is a tangible or intangible. If it is tangible, you will take it a depreciation. If it is intangible or intangible, you have to show as an amortization of the asset. So here the depreciation is an expense written off to the statement of the P&L, it being cost of the tangible fixed asset written off over their useful life. So depreciation is in a fall in the value of fixed asset due to its usage or influx of the time. Now what is the meaning of amortization? So amortization is like the depreciation. It is a written down or written off to the statement of P&L account being cost of intangible fixed asset written off over their useful period of the time. So the main difference, you all know that when you are writing off the written down value of any tangible asset, you will take it as a depreciation. When you are writing off any intangible asset, it will go to the amortization. Like amortization, you amort the things. What are the examples for the amortization? That is, you can say the amortization of goodwill amortized or patent amortized. For depreciation, you depreciate the building, plant, machinery, furniture, fixtures. Those all are come to these sections. Now come to the other expenses. The expenses which is not be the part of the above 6 will ultimately go to the other expenses. So the expenses that are not shown under above discussed 6 entries are shown under the other expenses. Other expenses may be shown as direct expenses or indirect expenses. So what are these? The carriage, inward, selling and marketing expenses, administrative expenses, telephone expenses, electricity expenses, rent, then sundry expenses. These all are come to your other expenses. It either be the direct or it will be the indirect expenses. Now after that, you have explained this, you have understand it. So this is also the pattern, you have just explained it. How to do is, you know how to make the P&L of the company and how to balance it. It means you are taking all these revenue items first, added, and total revenue. With adding the revenue from operation and the other income, you will have the total revenue. That total revenue actually will be the base. All the expenses which is there according to the heads, all the expenses are actually deducted from Then you will have the profit before the tax. It means here you will, when you are deduct all the expenses from your total revenue, you will have the profit before the tax. Also, the percentage of tax is given to you in the question. Then you are to be also less the percentage of tax. Whatever will be the item amount, that will be profit and loss for the period ended, for the particular period, that will be your profit or loss. So this is the specimen how you will do it, the profit and loss of the company. Next is the notes to account. It is also be the part of your statement of the financial statement of the company. So notes to account is a statement attached to the financial statement and is a part of the financial statement. So it has detail of item of balance sheet and statement of the P&L. Besides significant accounting policies and additional information required to be disclosed as per the Schedule 3rd of Companies Act 13, all the notes which is given in the footnote of balance sheet and the P&L, all are the explanatory note, and they are actually attached with these two. Next is the cash flow statement. Cash flow statement is also the financial statement of the company. So it is a statement showing the flow of the cash and the cash equivalents, inflow and outflow during the accounting period. So this statement is important for better understanding of financial statement, and it is an essential tool for short-term financial analysis. So these are all are come in the financial statements. Now what is the objective of this statement? First is to provide the financial data on economic resources and obligation to an enterprise. Next, to show the implication of operating the profit on the financial position of the enterprise. Third one is to provide information about cash flow to investors and creditors for assessing, comparing and evaluating potential cash flow in the term of the amount. Also, to provide sufficient and reliable information to various parties interested in financial statement, to prevent the true and fair view of the business, and also to assess the effectiveness of the management towards utilization of resources of the business, to provide information about activity of business affecting the society, and also to disclose the accounting policies followed in the accounting process for the better understanding of financial statement. So these all are the objective, or you can say the aim. Next, what are the important things? What are the essentials of the financial statement? While making the financial statement, what are its essentials? So it means first is the factual information. The financial statement must be actually obtaining and must be having the factual information. It should be disclosed the factual information about the financial position of the company. It should not be fake. Understandability. Your financial statement should be understood by all the users. It should not be so complex. It will be useless if it is not used by the users. Comparable. So only you can arise with any of the decision if you have the opportunity or the provision to compare something like past with the present or present with the future. Only then you can arrive at your result. So it should be, your financial statement should be comparable. Next is verifiable. It means that the information disclosed by the financial statement should be verifiable from the record of the company. Also, it should be relevant. So the information disclosed by the financial statement should be according to the legal requirement. This so because they are considered relevant to the user, having been set after the thorough public debate, through the public debate, and also the timeliness. This statement should be prepared on the time. If it is not prepared on the time, it is useless. So the statement should be prepared and presented within the reasonable period after the accounting period is over. Financial statement may be lose their relevance because of the undue delay caused in the release of such information. So it means you know that from the 1st April to the 31st of March, you are to prepare your financial statement mostly on this period, and it is useless if you are not showing your these information to the user. It will be useless. So these are the relevance, or you can say these are the essential of the financial statement. Now, what are the parties, or you can say what are the party interested in the financial statement or the user of financial statement? These are basically the internal user as well as the external user. For the internal users, these are basically the shareholder, the management, or the employees. They are the internal users. Also for the external, they are the banks and financial institutions, investors and potential investors, creditors, government and its authorities, and also the Security Exchange Board of India. These all are the external user of financial information. So with you can see that there are so many user of accounting information, and everybody, all the users who are using it, they use the information according to their requirement and need. That's why it should be not so complex. That's why it should be relevant. There should be the proper understandability with the user of accounting. So this is all about for your financial statement, as we have discussed here about the balance sheet. Then we have discussed about the statement of a P&L, notes to account, and what is all about the cash flow. The cash flow, there is a full-fledged chapter that we will discuss it in our next lectures. So this is enough for today, and I will say good luck to all of you. Thank you.